everybody. My name is Vincci and it's wonderful to be able to lead you through a short little practice today. So I think some of us may be perhaps feeling the aftermath of, so much uncertainty and being staying at home. Sometimes it's without our own control, and some of us are going to go through certain emotions that we may have not felt for in many months or years or ever. So I really want to acknowledge you for taking the time out to come practice and having this time for yourself. And so today's practice, before we begin, make sure if you need to take any blankets or towels with you for your knees for kneeling. If you do have any little props such as blocks or bolsters, feel free to have them close to you. It's always good to have them by your side. And from here now, my cat might join me in some of those moments. This is the real world, isn't it? Practicing at home. And so while we are here, also just checking with yourself any injuries, because I'm not able to interact with you in person. Please make sure if you do have any injuries, be very aware of your own limitations, and things will come and go. Sometimes we have stiffness, aches and pains, but just make sure you manage this as carefully as you can at home. So let's find a comfortable seat, and you can sit on something if you prefer, a pillow or cushion, or as you are. If cross-legged doesn't work for you, just sit in any other way that feels comfortable. Begin here now to arrive. And as we let our sit bones ground down, feel free to rest your hands on your lap or anywhere else that's comfortable for you here. Resting the eyes down or just keeping a soft gaze. Let's begin now to let our physical body settle, finding length through the spine, softness in the face, jaw and shoulders. Let's come to our breath, everyone. Beginning to listen into the inhalation, sensing as exhalation leaves the body. Watching the breath coming and going without needing to change or control it in any way. Sensing the breath coming and going. This is a really effective way for our mind to slow down and even to let any sort of overwhelming emotions or thoughts settle. And to help allow some of these perhaps dominant thoughts, any preoccupying emotions, if you like to release or even just let that to come away. I'm going to take 3 clean breaths, and I'm going to ring the bowl 3 times, and I really want to encourage you to release the exhalation out through the mouth. So let's begin. Let's take now a deep breath into the sound of the bowl, and let it go. Deep breath in, empty out. Last round, and let it go completely. Letting the breath release, letting it go. And as we allow now our breath to come back, let's start by either keeping the eyes closed, or you can open the eyes if you prefer. Let's start by drawing the chin down towards the chest. Exhale, draw the chin towards the right shoulder. Inhale to come back, then let's take our chin towards our left shoulder. And so for the next 3 to 4 rounds of breaths, let's start to just rotate the chin from one side to the other, and really about letting the breath guide you here to release through the side of the neck. You might be starting to feel it along the traps, through the shoulder, and there's definitely no right or wrong. If you even feel one side of the neck feels very tight today, feel free to maybe hold it there and just really let the next few breaths to release and soften. especially if you are still working from home and you're sitting at a desk and, probably not the most comfortable of workspaces at the moment, then, you might be able to start to kind of really feel that along the upper body. Then we'll come back into bring our head to the neutral. Let's take our head back now. We can look up to the ceiling or close our eyes. We'll take our head towards the right corner of the room. Inhale to come back. Then let's take it to the other side. And for the next 3 breaths, allow the movements to be guided by the breath. Maybe you can start to find some new sensations. Maybe different things are coming up here and through the back of the neck as we just bring that natural curve back into the cervical spine, through the back of the neck. If there's a lot of stiffness that's built up, sometimes that can create some tension headaches too if we feel there's a lot of strain through the back of the neck. Then we'll come back into neutral and we'll start to just come into focusing on the shoulders now. So inhale, let's roll the shoulders away, up to the ears and back down. And let's take a few rounds here. And you can alternate, you don't necessarily have to do it together. Just starting to really allow the stiffness to soften with each breath. And you can take it to the other direction when you're ready. Come into a few breaths here on the side, and you might see if you want to change or stay the same kind of sequence. Then we'll start to come off our seat now, everyone. Give your legs a shake. And we'll start with coming onto tabletop. Let's start with bringing your hands underneath your shoulders onto your mat. And you're welcome to take a towel underneath your knees for kneeling. And then you can even have the knees hip width apart. Just see what's most comfortable here. So begin with hands and knees. We'll call this on tabletop, a nice neutral position. Let's start by swaying hips side to side, left and right. We're starting to really release through the back of the body and through the hip joint. At any point, if you find there's a lot of tension in the wrists, you're always welcome to sit back and take the hands into your fists and do some wrist rotations if you prefer. And so as we start to find our way, just releasing through, then you might want to come into a few rounds of cat-cow. So as you take the next breath, you can start to draw the sit bones down as you arch the spine. You might want to nod the head to your next breath as you slowly come into cow pose. Drop the belly down, lift the sit bones up, lifting heart and sternum towards the wall in front of you. Finding your way to that transition based on your own rhythm of the breath, not needing to rush through. You might find between that cat-cow transition for the next 3 to 4 breaths that you might feel cow is more beneficial today. Cat pose might be nice to create that spinal extension. So in that next 2 breaths, just find your own rhythm. Take your time with it. Really breathe through the back body in your cat pose, and as you roll the shoulders away, really kind of start to widen through the collarbones, heart and sternum in your cow pose. And as you come back into that last round, let's slowly come into sitting back. You can take your hands into fists. Let's do some wrist rotations here. And let's interlace your fingers. Let's stretch the fingers towards the wall in front of you. Now, as you do that, you can either draw a chin to the chest. You might even want to round the middle back if you want to look towards my shoulder blades. I'm rounding my middle back towards the wall behind me, just opening up through the middle back. You might want to concave the chest away from the hands. And slowly release our hands. You might want to start to take the hands behind, roll the shoulders away, draw the hands away from the back of the head. You might feel keeping a long spine is nice to stay in this position, open up through the chest. Now, if you find interlacing the fingers isn't nice, you can always hold on to opposite hands or wrists. And from here, let's slowly come into our first child's pose. Now you can come down by drawing the chest towards the floor. You can squeeze the navel and release the arms. Pausing here, staying in child's pose. You can always widen the knees if you prefer, especially if the hips or lower back is tight. Widen the knees as much as you like, big toes towards each other. This time we're going to extend the hands in front. Come into our child's pose. As we find our way to let the forehead come towards either our towel or our mat, send the breath to the belly. Starting to really send the breath all the way to the back of the spine. Deep breath in. Let it go. Now, as you extend the arms in front and the hands in front of the mat, really press from the center of the palm to the middle finger. As you tuck the toes underneath, as you take the sit bones and hips up towards the ceiling, let's lift up, engage our abdomen. Let's walk out our down dog, walking it out. I'm just begin to walking it out, just to feel through the back of the legs. You might want to sway the hips side to side, left and right. It might be nice to nod the head if you feel there's a bit of stiffness through the neck and the traps. As you start to check in with your hands, you can maybe start to see if they're more comfortable with hands shoulder distance, wider or narrow, you decide. And really press from the center of the palm to the middle finger, checking in with your feet. Now, if you feel your hamstrings are tight, keep the knees soft. Lift the sit bones up a little bit higher to the ceiling. Now, as you look towards your feet, start to see if you can direct the chest to the thighs. Now, if you feel more comfortable, keep the knees soft. You get a little bit more lengthy through the spine. If you start to try and get your heels to touch, especially the first few rounds of down dog where you haven't warmed up so much, it's going to feel really strong in the hamstrings. So just take that time here to keep the knees soft. Deep breath in all the way to the belly. Empty out. Come back onto your knees. Tabletop. Let's reset in tabletop. Let's take a few rounds of cat-cow, and you can change up the sequence. You're welcome to let the breath guide you once again. And if you've practiced Ujjayi breath, you're always welcome to include that in the practice. And we'll come back into tabletop. This time, let's start to take the right knee off the mat. Let's extend the right foot back, keeping that right leg nice and steady. Engage abdominal muscles. Feel free to extend the opposite hand. Left hand extend away from the right heel. Keep the abdomen engaged and exhale, bring it down. Let's take it to the other side. Left knee off the mat. Keep the abdomen engaged as you extend the right hand away. Now, you don't necessarily have to take the hands off at all. You're always welcome to keep the hands onto the mat. And in the next few rounds, you're welcome to keep extending now. The idea here is not to try and worry too much about how far along you extend. It's really about creating strength in the core area, within the abdominal, within the back muscles. Okay, so you're welcome to engage through the pelvic floor, more bandha. You can keep extending if you prefer. Exhale as you come back. Whether you take the back toe off, the big toe off the mat, or toes off, it's up to you. But if you find you're losing that steadiness and you're finding it wobbly, either keep the hands onto the mat or keep the toes back onto the floor. And if you prefer to modify, adding a little bit more, on the exhale, feel free to add a cat curl. You can even tap the opposite elbow towards the knee. Now, take your time for the next, say, 4 to 6 breaths. Go at your own pace. This is more about creating strength and steadiness. It's not about speed. And you find that the slower you go, you're going to probably find that there's a challenge there to stay with that steadiness, to stay with the balance, whether it's really spreading the 10 fingers out, really ground down through the hands, but also keep the abdominal engaged, keep the back muscles engaged, using the pelvic floor muscles to also help you find that steadiness, because it's going to switch on the transverse abdominis, those lower abs. It's going to keep the back muscles strong. And in that last round, let's come back into tabletop. If you feel it's helpful, you can wag the tail, just release through anything, or you can even take your hands into fists and do some wrist rotations. We'll come back into tabletop now from here. Let's once again come into child's pose. And let's find our way into child's pose. Any variation of your choice, whether wide knees towards each other. Extend the hands in front. Ground down through the 10 fingers, lift up, engage from the navel, walk it out first if you want, or go straight into down facing dog. Deep breath in, lift the sit bones up a little bit high, chest and thighs, and let go. From here, let's look towards our hands. Step or walk as much as you like to come to the front of your mat. Let's come into our first forward fold. Just like our down dog, you want to keep the hamstrings soft for the first few rounds. That way, when you let the chest and upper body to release, you get more of that extension through the spine. Great length here. And releasing through the upper back. Inhale, let's roll up. Take our time as we come to rolling up. Find steadiness here in the feet. Ground down, rolling up. As we roll up to standing, I'm going to just modify so you can all see me. As you come to standing, when you come to standing, you can ground down through the feet. Nice long spine, arms can relax by your side. You can even take it to Anjali Mudra, thumbs resting onto your heart space. Pausing here, taking a few breaths. And grounding through the feet, you might even like to feel into the corners of each foot, the ball of the foot, edge of the foot with your little toe, and the heel. Feeling the arches of the feet, find steadiness in the legs, gently lifting up of the knees and the thighs. Lengthen the crown of the head towards the ceiling as you draw the tailbone to the earth. Engage into the Ujjayi breath, incorporating the breath flowing in from the nose all the way towards the belly. Exhaling through the back of the throat is a subtle half vibration, whether it's out through the mouth if you're a beginner, or regulars out through the nose. And that Ujjayi breath is like a wave-like motion. Each exhale flows through the back of the throat, just that subtle ha sound, as if you're whispering or even folding a visible mirror in front of you. Last round. You can continue with this Ujjayi breath if it's helpful here. In the next few breaths, when you're ready now, let's start to sweep the arms up. Palms can touch, your gaze towards your hands, and to your exhale, slowly fold down, roll down all the way, Uttanasana, forward fold. Take your time here to release a little bit more for the next few breaths. Inhale, when you're ready to half lift, create a flat back, hands can rest on your knees or your legs. Lengthen the crown of the head away from the tailbone, exhale to release. Flatten the hands down, let's take it down facing dog, let's find our way here. Feel free to ground down, chest and the thighs. Create a little bit more space here if you want to soften the knees. Deep breath in. Let it go. Let's look towards our hands because when you step to come to the front of your mat, forward fold. Slowly roll up on your inhale. You can even extend the inhale to count 4. Find length here. Inhale, draw the arms up. Take your time to slowly fall back down. You can always take your fingers into the hip creases if it helps protect your lower back. Folding down to your next variation of forward fold. Inhale to the half lift. Exhale as you release. Step yourself back down facing dog. Find your way into down dog. Finding length here through the spine by softening your knees if it helps, chest towards the thighs. Deep breath in. Let it go. Now look towards your hands. If you like, you can step or jump through. Come to the front of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, create a flat back, length through the back of the legs. Exhale to release. Now this time we're going to step our right foot back. Now you're welcome to come into a low lunge if it's more preferable. You can bring the right knee down, or you can keep the right knee off. Ground down, rise up, Anjaneyasana. As you go into your lunge, you can take that time to look towards your hands, look towards the ceiling. Exhale, bring the hands down now. Bring my left foot in front, so bring your right hand down, rotate through the left side. Exhale, bring that left hand now, step the right foot forward. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale to release. Now I'm going to step my left foot back so my right foot is in front. Okay, left knee can go up or onto the mat, it's up to you. Your left hand down, rotate through the right side. Exhale, bring it down, step it forward. Uttanasana. Slowly roll up. We're going to come into this flow one more time. And I'd like you to just start to see if you can perhaps not look at the screen so much. And just maybe perhaps listen to the cues and fold in your own time into Uttanasana. Sometimes it's really great to be able to practice in your own space and not rely so much on visual, but rather go at your own pace. Half lift on the inhale. Exhale to release. Step back into your high and low lunge either side. Right foot is back, left foot is in front. Right hand onto the mat. Exhale, rotate through the left side. You can open up that left shoulder a little bit more if you wish. Bring it back into Uttanasana when you're ready. Half lift on the inhale. Exhale to release, stepping the left foot back. Left knee can go on and off the mat, either side. Left hand's on the mat, rotate on the exhale through the right side. Exhale, bring it down, step it forward. Uttanasana. Inhale as you slowly roll up. Now, you're welcome if you have the time to continue to 2 more rounds at your own pace. If you like, you can always modify, whether you like a more of a challenging practice today, you can always add other elements in your poses, whether you want to add a plank or down dog, you're totally welcome to modify as you wish. And for those of you who may be limited for time, if you would like to join me on just a gentle and not too long of a warm down, and then we will finish into a bit of a twist and come into relaxation pose. So those of you who continue to flow, I'll give you that time. You just take the time as you need. And those of you who maybe say have to get back to the next part of your day, feel free to join me now to come back to your seat. And from here, we will now come into a pose called butterfly, seated butterfly pose. And we'll sit into the middle of our mat. We'll bring our feet into a bit of a soles of the feet to touch. So we're going to bring our legs into a bit of a diamond shape. So let me just make sure that you can all see me. This is the fun technology. So we're going to bring the soles of our feet to touch. And the knees out wide, just kind of creating a diamond shape, okay? So this is how it should kind of look. Now, your heels can go closer to you if you find that's more comfortable on the hips and lower back. You can either sit on a pillow or cushion to lift your pelvis a little bit higher and the hips up. So from here, the idea is to kind of get into the groin, lower back, and this is part of our hips as well. So from here, lengthen through the spine on the next inhale. Exhale, slowly as you fold down. See if you can fold down with a long spine. If you've got anything going on the lower back today, you don't necessarily have to come down too far. You might find if it's strong enough to stay seated, you can stay with that option. You can even take a cushion or some blocks underneath each thigh or knee. So as you fold down, take some time here to let the upper body relax. Sometimes we can tense up very easily here too. So as you find your way into this pose, Baddha, and you might find it's nice to just close your eyes and take a few breaths. It could be your Ujjayi breath, your own natural easy breath. There's no right or wrong. And we're just taking this time now to soften through and exhale. One more breath. In your own time from here, you can slowly walk yourself back up and bring the knees towards each other. Give it a shake. Now from here, when you feel ready, let's lie down on our mats. We're going to come into just a very simple twist, windscreen wiper twist. You can bring your feet as wide as the mat, arms out. It can be any shape or form. Feel free to take the knees from one side of the room to the other. Just getting into the lower back, into the hips. And you might find one side really needs that attention. Maybe you want to hold and pause there. Deep breath in. Let it go. You can stay here for another breath or two. If you want to explore the other side, you just make your own way when you're ready. Empty it out. Now, when you feel ready to go into your Shavasana, just take that time now to layer up if you like, or take a cushion underneath your head. Some of you might have eye pillows at home if you would like to just set yourself up in the way that's most comfortable for you. And Shavasana is such a lovely way for us to receive after all the efforts we put in our practice. So as you find your way lying down into your relaxation pose, for those who are ready to come to Shavasana, just take that time now to let the body Soften into that stillness. Let your eyes rest. Letting your arms relax by your side. Make sure you're warm and comfortable. Feel free now to add any other last minute adjustments. Feel free to add a yawn to release any tension in the face or the jaw. Letting the shoulders relax. Letting the legs feel heavy. Sensing the parts of your body in contact with the earth. Let it feel heavy. Allowing yourself to completely surrender. Let it go. And those of you who are able to stay longer for Shavasana now, be offering the sound of the bowls today to help you deepen into your Shavasana today. Just allow yourself to receive. And if you're ready to come out of Shavasana, then take a few deeper breaths. And see if you're just waking up again for the first time of the day. Just come out in your own time. There's absolutely no rush. Those of you who are wanting to stay longer, stay as long as you need. Because this is such a beautiful time in our lives now. Even though routines are coming, it's a time to slow down and to become aware of the things perhaps we may have missed, let us pass by. And I'll leave you here today with whichever option you want to take. It's been such an honor and privilege to be able to share this practice with you today. And yoga is something that we can take with us in times of ups or downs, uncertainty, where we sometimes need a little bit of control and routine. I think this is a great way for you to keep this as part of your daily routine. So my name is Vincci, and you might be able to see if you can join me next time. I'm also on Facebook and Instagram. You can find me under Vincci on Facebook and Louis under Instagram. I'll try and post up a few things. I'm not the most tech-savvy person, so I will do my best to stay in touch, and you can find me through those channels. If not, I will hope to see you online next time. Thank you so much. Namaste.